Why are so many people leaving YouTube? Hello everyone, it's Jay, and let's talk about something more serious, which is people leaving platforms like YouTube or Twitch. This has become a really big trend in 2024, so if you happen to like my content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you think, and let's get into the video. The biggest creator to leave the platform on YouTube was none other than MatPat.
Miss this. I value what we have here. I value this conversation, this openness, this relationship that we share.
However, it's not just YouTube that people are leaving from, but what is the reason behind them doing this? Well, in MatPat's video, he discusses the issues that come with being a content creator, which is the grind. It is insane how much you have to grind on these platforms in order to make a living off of it, and it should be more available. But with the amount of people that want to be a content creator these days, it is really, really hard, and it has to be an extreme amount of luck in order to make it as a creator. And to be honest, it's a little robotic to be on the internet day in and day out. And one thing I want to stress about being in the YouTube atmosphere is it is a 24-hour job. You really cannot sleep because you will fall off. And a lot of people decide to quit their main source of income for that reason, just to hit the algorithm. And with the Logan Pauls and Mr. Beasts of the world, we can see why people strive for that and ultimately get burnt out. So what do I mean that being a content creator is a 24-hour job? Well, let's take it back to how YouTube really was in the mid 2000s. People back then were just randomly recording things on their webcam, and the webcam quality was just not that great, but they were randomly recording things and posting it out for the public to see. And a lot of it ranged from conspiracy theories to just random vlogs of people's lives. But people saw what creative ideas could come from this concept of just recording yourself and posting it on the internet, which then caused those content creators to start creating a bigger theatrics, like using scripts, green screens, or a team of people. Shane Dawson, of all people, is a good representation of this, even though he's had a lot of controversy in his past. With that in mind, writing scripts, shooting, editing, and posting became a 24-hour job. You had to research the topic that you were really interested in, put yourself on camera, which is actually very, very stressful, and post for the world to see, which in return, there is so much hatred out in the world. I mean, there's a lot of hate comments. I made a video on the trolls that I came across almost a year ago now, and just to put in all that work can be frustrating at times. There is always one person that listens to your videos out of 10 people who do not, so keep that in mind whenever becoming a content creator. These negative comments can be mentally draining.
It comes down to, when does it become too much? When does it become too much for yourself? Like I said, this channel was always to help me out mentally.
But there is something to think about. There is a even darker side to this negative impact. It's not just mentality. It's also the physical consequences that come with being a content creator. Swatting and doxing people happens all the time whenever you put yourself out there on the internet, which can bring pain or discomfort to the content creator, because swatting is becoming such a negative impact on content creation, and it really should be addressed more instead of just making it out to be another police activity that somebody has to go do.
Hyperwolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers, goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults."
Everyone involved whenever this happens is at risk, because all you did was put yourself out there on the internet. With all this going on, it is inevitable that content creators will quit after a certain amount of time. It just drags on and on and on, and it becomes so mentally draining and so physically draining that people just quit. They just walk away and find an ordinary job. Now, you can look at content creation as a negative way, but there also is a lot of positives. With this new wave way of getting fame, some creators make makeup or create clothing brands. Take Jeffree Star and his makeup brand, or H3H3 and their clothing brand. This helps people stay relevant in the YouTube creator atmosphere. What do I mean by that? I mean that you have another source of income so you can create content and you can put yourself out there and get extra revenue on top of the revenue that you're making off of a clothing brand or things like makeup. It's always best to have another source of income while doing the things that you love to do. This isn't a content creator thing. It's not just something that you'll see on YouTube or Twitch. It is something that celebrities have done for years. A lot of actors or actresses write books or create a clothing brand to keep themselves relevant, but also to keep the money flowing. Talking more on quitting YouTube again, I myself have gotten burnt out. Like, I usually take a month away after every 6 months now because I get so burnt out on making content, but also working at my regular job. I just can't keep up. I mean, hell, this video now is written on the script, and I have recorded multiple times to make things perfect for you viewers. But don't take that as me complaining about what I do. I'm only stressing on how complicated it can be and can get. And whenever you have regular jobs or you're making music on the side and you're doing content creation as well, it can make you a really burnt out person extremely quickly. YouTube just starts to become an ordinary job, and just like any ordinary job, you move on. You become passionate about something else in your life, and it could be 20 years, it could be 10 years. It's not a forever thing, and that's something that new creators should really think about. You really do get tired of being on a 24-hour work cycle. Factoring in a family on top of that can really put yourself in a difficult situation, which is why you see so many people crying whenever they announce that they are leaving YouTube. It's hard to say goodbye on something that you built up and you were really passionate about in the beginning, but you got burnt out over time. Or you just had to move on to focus on your family. Now, with this video, don't get me wrong, making content is extremely fun. It is extremely interesting to edit and make things pop in the way that you see it in your mind. I am forever grateful to have the following that I have. Creators like H3H3 and Philip DeFranco have stuck around since the beginning of YouTube. And a lot of it has to do with consistency, but it also has to do with them having another business on the side to help them stay relevant in the algorithm. That's something that a lot of people aren't addressing whenever they make this type of video. I've seen so many videos come out about people quitting YouTube, and nobody is really addressing the side projects that they have that they're working on, like clothing brands or makeup brands that really bring in the income so that way you can make content creation. And truthfully, that's what I'm getting at. Always have something on the side so that way you can make things that you love. Being a part of YouTube or Twitch is always an up-down situation. One video could do good and one video could do bad within views, and relying on just YouTube or Twitch to support your lifestyle and the things that you have accomplished is how burnout has become so popular. Use your new wave of fame to build something else on top of what you've already built. Meaning, build a house on top of another house. You know, I have ideas of running for the city that I live at in the future, or having my own clothing brand because I really like fashion. It's not just going to be some typical YouTuber clothing brand. It would be something that I would put so much effort into, or even becoming a radio host in some way because I want to showcase all the music that I have discovered. The only way that I can get there is by using YouTube and taking advantage of it. Stuff like this takes time, and it may not happen. Those dreams may not pan out, and that's totally okay. You don't need those fancy cars. You don't need that fancy house. You don't need all that flashy stuff. You just need to put yourself out there, and people will like and follow you. Giving yourself a voice is what YouTube is all about. Remember, YouTube is about you.